Lola Martinez. This is gonna be my first YouTube video, and I'm excited. Today I'm gonna be talking about boobies. So I have officially completed 2 days ago 8 months since I got my breast augmentation, and I'm gonna be reviewing that. So let me go over my notes. Bullshit, I don't have any notes, but I'm gonna make them as I'm recording this video so I can remember my points. So, so the first thing that you need to do if you want to consider getting your boobs done is consultations. So consultations are the most important thing, because this is like your vetting process, your interviews, to see which surgeon you want to give all your money to, and not only that, but which surgeon you feel the most comfortable with, the safest with, and the one who's going to give you what you're actually asking for. So I had 3 consultations before I decided which surgeon I was going to pick. I had a consultation with a surgeon in Dominican Republic. I had another consultation with, I had 2 consultations with surgeons in Atlanta. And the reason why I decided not to go with the surgeon in Dominican Republic is because you just have to follow up. So I think it's 10 days post-op. You have to follow up. So it just wasn't practical for me to, even though I am from Dominican Republic, it wouldn't be practical for me to stay there for the days of the surgery, like pre-op, surgery day, recovery time, and then post-op checkup. What else? Like, there's just a lot of stuff that your surgeon has to take care of, or really the nurses have to look at, you know, and stitching and all that stuff. And, you know, it's just always better to have proximity to your surgeon. So that's why I chose a surgeon in my city. And the reason why it took me 3 consultations was more so price. I was looking for someone who would be able to, you know, give me the boobs that I was looking for in my budget. I think most surgeons are in the same price range. Some people have been working longer than others. Some people have, I guess, a more prestigious rep, so they can get away with charging, you know, an extra $1,000 or $2,000. But my budget was in $3,000 to $4,000 something ish. I didn't really want to go over that because I had done my homework and I knew that that was like the average price. Anybody asking for more, I didn't know why they would be asking for more, because it's not like my situation was a complicated situation. Like, it wasn't like a mastectomy to boob construction or anything like that. I literally just wanted my implants in my under the muscle, submuscular. So I did want my nipples kind of like rearranged. Not rearranged, that's a bad word. Like, I just wanted smaller nipples because I always was insecure about like how big my nipples were before my surgery. And I'm thankful that I picked the office that I went to, because I asked my nurse, I think it was the second time when I had to go in, I think it was like the pre-op. I was telling her like how I wanted my nipples reshaped and all that stuff, and she was telling me that the way I felt was probably due to me not having enough cleavage and a small amount of breast tissue. It made my nipples probably look bigger than what they actually were. Which she was right, because once I saw my boobs heal, my nipples fit like exactly where I wanted them to be. I didn't want like, I actually wanted porn star nipples, like really tiny nipples, where it's basically like just the, not the areola. But I like it. I like it. I'm really satisfied with the results, aesthetically at least, with my breast. So yeah, the nurse told me that I didn't really have to worry about getting my nipples cut. Cookie cutter is what it's called. Yeah, I'm glad that she didn't like try to convince me to get my nipples resized, because that would have been like an extra, that was like an extra $1,200 to do that. And not only that, but my sensitivity is actually higher now ever since I got my boobs done. And I really like it, for obvious reasons. Yeah, so had I gotten cookie cutter nipples, I probably would have had reduced nipple sensitivity, and that would have made sex really boring for me. It's like, it's a lot of fun. Vet your surgeons, like vet their process, look at their personality types. Personality types matter to me, because it's like, some people get cocky in any, you know, in any career field. Some people get cocky, and when they get cocky, they tend to overlook the small stuff, because they, you know, like, they feel like they don't really have to look at the small stuff anymore, or, you know, service isn't really like their main domain. For me, service is very important. Aftercare is very important. Like, I know I called my surgeon's office probably 3 times, like within the first 7 days of me having surgery, just because I I mean, it's weird. Like, your boobs look fucking crazy. Like, my boobs look like cinder blocks. They were literally rectangles because I had no breast tissue, or I had very little breast tissue. I was like an A cup before my surgery, and like the force of the implant under my muscle and my skin not having a lot of fat, like the implant was fighting against my skin, like trying to stretch, and it just looked really weird at the very beginning, and it was a lot of bruising, like all of this, or either, I don't know which side it was, but all of this was like purple and red. I was fucking scared. Yellow, like it just looked like I had gotten into a really bad accident or something. They informed me that everything's normal, that I shouldn't have to worry about anything. So like their willingness to answer your phone after the surgery, like do they just treat you like a customer or are you a patient? So that's something that I really valued, or still value, when I pick, you know, a service or like a doctor, esthetician, whatever. So consultation, I narrowed it down. Not only that, I narrowed it down to like pros and cons. So getting my boobs done here, actually let me go get it so you guys can see. When you get your breasts done in the United States, at least legally, because not all offices are legally practicing plastic surgery. Like Miami, a lot of situations in Miami. But remember that cheap, you're gonna pay for cheap in the long run. They give you a mentor card, and the mentor card has like the date of the surgery, the doctor's name, implant size. So on my right I have 325 cc, and on my left I have 300 cc. I thought I had bigger cc's, actually, but I guess I forgot. And there's silicone. So implant ID card. This device is a track device. I don't know if my boobs are a track device or if the card's a track device. And I got memory gel, breast implant, smooth, round, moderate, plus profile. Memory gel. I thought I got silicone. Okay. After that, you have to choose what type of implant you want. Do you want saline? Do you want silicone? Do you want memory? I think those are the only options you have now. Gummy bear. Gummy bear is the fourth one. And obviously salt water is going to be the cheapest, and memory gel is going to be the most expensive. I was considering saline, not only because it's cheaper, it's also the safest option as far as ruptures. If it ruptures, the salt water just flows into your bloodstream and you just get a new implant. But the downside of that is that if it ruptures, it deflates, and you can see that. So I was like, well, I mean, I looked up what a silicone or memory gel rupture would look like, and if it would just like immediately just flow into my bloodstream and cause cancer and all kinds of crazy shit. No. So when a silicone implant ruptures or a memory gel implant ruptures, it stays intact. Over time, like as you're moving and stuff like that, the rupture is going to like leak, I mean, into your muscles and the blood vessels, and the blood vessels, you know how biology works. So I was like, okay, well, I'd rather take that risk, because if I do have a rupture and it needs to get replaced, I don't want my boob to just like one boob be flat and the other boob not, because then I have to rush into, you know, another surgery to get it fixed, because it's just not aesthetically pleasing, especially like in the career field that I intend on being in. It's just not convenient. So yeah, that's why I chose silicone. You're supposed to get MRI scans. You don't get mammograms once you have an implant. So MRI scans, they can tell like if there's a rupture in the implant. You're supposed to get them 3 years after your breast augmentation. And I've always been on top of my health, so that's not something that I was really like insecure about. But the rupture stays in place with silicone, memory gel, and all that stuff. And you're supposed to get them replaced every 10 to 15 years anyways. And the likelihood of a rupture is like super slim. You have to get into like a severe car accident, or like a really bad fall, or like a really bad fight for it to rupture. So it's not just something that like anything can provoke a rupture. So that's not something I'm worried about. So I chose silicone, or I guess fucking memory gel, because I could have sworn I paid for it. I did pay silicone price. Memory gel is definitely more expensive. Could have been a possibility that they didn't have my silicone implant and just gave me memory gel. Okay. Memory gel's better. So I've gotten a lot of compliments saying that my boobs feel very real, and they look very real. So it could be because of that. So silicone, memory gel, those are the options that I would consider. You have to be 22 years of age to get silicone and up, because of FDA regulations. I'm not sure why, but you can be 18 and get saline. Now, I knew I wanted to get my boobs done since I was like 16 or 17 because of like rapid weight loss, running track, playing sports. I just always had really low body fat, and I just always wanted to have breasts. So I waited until I was 22 to be able to get the surgery. Of course, you can go overseas and get silicone, but like I said, you run more of a risk because you don't have warranty. You don't have warranty on your breast, and it's just harder for you to like follow up with your surgeon. And it's better for you to just go see the same person if you are having some issues with your breast. Breast augmentation, like any kind of surgery, you want to have somebody around that can watch you, take care of you, drive you. You have to have somebody drive you. You can't have a taxi or an Uber come and pick you up. The nurses won't let you leave, or at least my office was like that, because I guess they care and it can be held responsible for that. So my mom took me and stayed with me, and obviously took me home afterwards. I stayed with her during the time. I was heavily sedated, heavily like under medication. They give you like 6 different types of pills, down on morphine, promethazine. It was another muscle relaxer. They give you, I think it was like amoxicillin. Antibiotics. I had like 6 or 5 rounds of pills. I did start off with the morphine, and then after like 2 days I stopped with morphine because I know they're so addictive, and then I stuck with promethazine and cardiosoprodol, which is a muscle relaxer. It really kept me asleep most of the time. I was bedridden for about 7 days, so I did not move. You have to like literally, this is how you lay in bed. Like, I had pillows holding me up. I couldn't move. If I moved, it was literally like. And then after the second week, they say that you can go back to work after a week. So I liked work and I like to make money, and I wasn't really in a position. Well, I could have taken another week off of work, but it wasn't ideal for me to take another week off of work. So I went to work the week after, and I couldn't open like metal doors or anything like that. Like I had to like hold it open and then put my foot in between and then like try to wiggle my way. And then I had like kind of a hunchback because my skin was still stretching. And like for me to erect my back, it was a lot of pain. So I didn't really straighten my back out until the 3rd week. Work was manageable. It was hard for me to stand because I was on my feet most of the time at work. It was hard for me to stand, so I got like a stool. Other than that, like if I had like an extra $2,000 saved up, I think I just would have not gone to work for about 2.5 weeks because it's just, it's just uncomfortable. It's like, having a car accident and then just going back to work the week after you had a major car accident. So I took that part very lightly. Then they still look pretty weird. I would say, let me see, April. They were still pretty high in April. They were still pretty high in May. I would say like June. June is when they finally like settled in, and then like I could like shake my titties and stuff like that. And it just looked really good. They started out up here, like the swelling was all the way up here, like my boobs. I could imagine that my cleavage was like right under my clavicle, and I really thought that my boobs were gonna be that high, because it's like moderate plus profile. So I wasn't really sure what moderate plus profile looked like on a body, but eventually like they drop, the boobs drop. I have a mirror over there. Yeah, the boobs drop. So they fall, my boobs fall exactly like how they did prior to me getting implants. So that's the thing about a boob job, is that it doesn't change the shape of your boob. It just gives you more mass. At least the implants that I chose, I think moderate profile plus is it's a circular implant. There's like teardrop and all that stuff. I just got, like the regular one. The surgeon knew which one would look best for my boob type. So yeah, they're just the circular type. I'll show y'all. So, like I have cleavage, everything jiggles, The only thing I would say about my boobs is that I definitely can't work out the way that I used to work out. Like I don't remember the last time I did push-ups. I did try to do push-ups like in yoga, but they weren't the push-ups that I could do. I still pole dance. Pole dancing isn't like impossible, because I feel like it's more bicep and tricep and forearm strength. When it comes to like chest strength, it's not there anymore. I haven't trained my chest either. Like I haven't tried. I don't want to because I can now, but I started working out 3 weeks after. Yeah, 3 weeks after I got my boobs done. It was just cardio, and then after 6 weeks I went back to the gym. Even then, like, it was still uncomfortable, but you know, I was doing like leg workouts and stuff like that, like using the machines. I wasn't using my upper body for anything, but I could definitely feel the strain. I didn't really work out upper body much after my surgery, so that's one thing about it. I was just really worried about capsular contraction because like I had low body fat, low body breast tissue. I didn't want, you know, it to look more round than what it needed to be, because I assumed that because I had low body fat that the implants would look more round, but they don't. And I think it's because I took extra precautions to make sure that I would not like instigate capsular contraction. You have to sleep with a bra. They give you like this granny bra to wear, and it hooks in the front. I wore it with padding down here for the stitching for about 6 weeks, and then I moved on to sports bras, like my Nike sports bras and stuff like that. That shit works a charm because it really pushes the implant down. You want stuff to push the implant down, so that's why you wear like the Nike compressions. Make sure you wear a comfortable bra. Stitching this boob, let me see. The scar on this one is really light. They did a really good job on that one. The one that I feel disappointed in is this one. This one didn't really heal as much. I honestly think it's because the nurse just didn't pull the stitch out on this one well enough. If she pulled it out even more, I think it would have caused more scarring. So I think she just left it as is and didn't really say anything. It's more so surgeon error, or whoever did the stitching error. I think they probably rushed that side. And they weren't as careful. Like, that's what I mean by the little stuff. Some people don't scar as well, but just because I see like how this one healed and how that one healed, that was like human error. It wasn't like my skin or anything like that. But I wasn't really pressed about it because it is under here, and I could always get like lightening creams. I'm not very consistent with lightening creams, but I could also get like laser to help with the hyperpigmentation down there. But that's something that I'll invest in later. It doesn't really bother me all that much. Sleeping now. I have always been a stomach sleeper. They tell you not to sleep on your stomach for the first 6 weeks or on your side because it moves the implant over and stuff like that. Now I can sleep however I like for the most part. It is fairly uncomfortable to sleep on my stomach, but I make sure to wear a bra at night. Most of the time I do wear a bra to go to sleep. I never used to wear a bra when I went to sleep, but now I do, just because it just feels better. It really does feel better to wear a bra at night versus when I didn't have implants, because everything feels tight. When you wake up in the morning and you're not wearing a bra and you have implants, I don't know about people who have boobs or implants, it just feels like they're loose, like here and here. When I wear a bra and I wake up, like I just feel that they're right where they should be. And it does, like when they're here and here from a night of not wearing a bra or a couple days of not wearing a bra, they still have like that loose natural feeling like you would if you just had big natural breasts. And they do have that look too, but I like having my boobs closer to the center as possible, which is why I do wear a bra. Massaging, you have to massage your breasts. So in the beginning, you have to like pull your arms up. Like once they clear you, you pull your arm back, and you know, like just bring movement back to your chest. There's like specific ways to do it, and then eventually you get into massaging. So massaging, I do this, you have to do it like 3 times a day when you first get them done. Now I just do them when I put lotion on. And you lift your boob to move the scar tissue around. You push them to the center like that, and you know, just like massage them, because the skin does get tight there. You do have a foreign object in your breast, so you have to do your best to make sure that your skin is, you know, just settling around it instead of just getting hard and thick, because it still can happen over time if you don't massage and if you don't stretch. If you are interested in knowing where I got my boobs done, hit me in the comments or even follow me on Instagram at _Lola Martinez, and I'll DM you, because I want to get my referral money. Not only that, but I'll let you like know the nitty-gritty about the whole process. I do recommend my surgeon, but I don't do no free promo. I love a free hodo. So I'm gonna make sure that I do get my my referral money when people are actually interested in going to see him and getting their surgery done. Now I would give him, a 4 out of 5. He's you know, about his business. Like, he just wants to see everything and mark you up and make sure you're okay. But the nurses are the ones that really give you a lot of face time. The surgery was 45 minutes long, so you're in and out, in and out. So it's like milking cows in there. Like, they just milking them cows and then moving on to the next person. And Atlanta's a very popular city for plastic surgery, so I think it's a really good place to come. If you plan on moving or something like that, like I said, I wouldn't really, you know, travel from a faraway place to come and get your surgery done here. But if you're coming from like Alabama or South Carolina, Tennessee, very feasible. But I would stay here for about 2 to 3 weeks before going back home. If you want to know more, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. It's _Lola Martinez. Twitter and Instagram is _Lola Martinez. And subscribe if you like more stuff. I'll be reviewing other things that I've gone through. So if you're interested, just let me know. And if you want to see me review anything else, just put it in the comments and I'll try my best to make a video about it. Thank you. Bye.